Hey everybody, it's John from S'more Camping with the Schraggs. Backup cameras. Some people love them, some people hate them. So today we have the Haloview wireless dual rear view observation mirror dash cam. It is the Haloview RD10. It has a 10-inch screen that goes on top of your existing rear view mirror. It has the backup camera that goes onto your travel trailer, and it has a transmitter that you can put further up in your camper to give yourself a better signal to the camera. Here are the stats on the back. You can pause and check them out right there. I'm going to open this up. We'll go through what's in the box, and then I'll tell you how I'm going to run it in our 2018 Jayco Whitehawk. Okay, so on the top here is the screen, which is the mirror. It does have a cover on it. And on top it looks like you have an SD card, your plug-in for your cigarette lighter, which is USB, and antenna. And then on the other side you have the front-facing camera that slides out or in, speaker, power cord on, or power button on the bottom. So that is the screen. That's pretty cool. This is the wireless transmitter. This is what will be mounted further up on the rig. What they suggest is just running this cord across the top of your RV, and they give you some magic mounts that hold the cord down, but I don't like the idea of that cord being exposed. And so that's the transmitter. This looks like it's the monitor and antenna right there. And then underneath, in this big hole here, was the cable. I already took the cable out because I wanted to make sure I had enough. I didn't know how many feet that was, and it's about 31 foot of cable. So this is the camera here. Looks like any typical backup camera. And then this comes through and plugs into a little adapter. If you're not prepped for a camera like a Furrion, they give you this cable, and this is what you'll run into your lights on the back of the camper to give power to the camera. I have a Furrion, so all I had to do was take this plug and plug it right into the cord that's sticking out that they give you on the camper. It just plugs right in. So we'll go over all that. In here, this is a cigarette lighter, power cord for the actual mirror. So that's what's in the box. Got some straps, and they give you all of those magic mounts I was telling you about to stick to the roof of your camper. I don't think they're going to stick after rain, snow, sun. I already took off the Furrion cover, which is very messy. It goes right here. This goes right on top of there. There's a panel right here. Unscrew those and you can get right to this cord right here. And this is the other cord that they gave you for the adapter. I just poked it through because I am not running the cord on the roof. I am going to run the cord into the camper, down this channel where there's some wires here beside the fridge, and down into the underbelly of the camper. I will then run it across some hangers all the way to the front of the camper, and then up into the basement or storage area of the front of the Whitehawk. Now, normally you would run this right up here and onto the roof and then across the top, and you'd probably be done in a half hour. Okay, back in the camper. This is the rear of the camper here, and this is where the microwave normally goes. I pulled the microwave out because that camera hole, let's get some light up in there, that camera hole is right there. So this piece here is what you saw coming out the back. Let me get some better light here. There we go. Yeah, this piece, this is the adapter they give you to plug into the Furrion camera. That other end that looks like a speaker jack, that is what came through. And all I had to do was drill this hole right here. This then attaches to the camera. This is for power. And then there's another cable I will run from the camera through this hole, which will attach to this. Then it will come down to this, And this line is what attaches to that 31-foot line that I will then run through a hole here into this empty space in between the refrigerator and the microwave, and I can run that all the way down into the underbelly of the camper. Alright, and there it is right there. Woo, we gotta watch out. We have our refrigerator on, that's hot. And I am not going to run this cable near the refrigerator. It's going to be clear back in the corner, which is over 3 to 4 inches away. So I'm gonna pull a little slack down. There we go. So all I have to do now is get it through this flooring and down into where the furnace is. If I have to, I will drill a hole right there and it'll just drop down. There's a lot of space behind the furnace. Okay, drilled myself a little 5/8 inch hole here from the floor of the refrigerator down into the furnace cavity. And I'm just going to shove this down through. Hey! Alright, so this project has taken way too long. Not because it's a hard project, but because I didn't want to install it the way it was recommended. So I did some things already that I didn't show because everybody's camper is going to be different, and if I show you what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter because your camper is going to be different, and the way you would route a wire would not be the same unless you have the White Hawk 26RK. It's going to be different. So here's what I did. Okay, so you're all familiar with the Furrion cap that goes up here and it kind of sticks out at an angle. This rubber boot is what's behind it, and there is a small hole with that little cable I showed you earlier that you plug in for power for the camera. You take that plastic stuff off, just ditch it. Unless you have a camera that somehow mounts to that. I couldn't figure out a way for it to mount to it, so it's gone. I ran the power, which is just plug and play, and I ran the data cable that goes to the transmitter into the trailer. That way I have no wires up here whatsoever. And then I took some silicone behind here and across the top. Alright, so that's the outside. No wires. Looks nice. You can move it. It's very stiff, which is good because you don't want it bouncing around and changing angles. So for the underbelly, I just pulled it out right here, dropped it down just so I had a corner, and then way over there I have an access panel for the motor for the slide. I pulled that access panel down and then I fed that cable across the underbelly. This is where the cable came out, right here. Still got to trim these off. But that cable comes out right here from the underbelly, zip tied it twice here, and then it goes up through these convenient holes I have in all of the braces that come out. I did use zip ties and a few of the Magic Mount wire ties that Haloview shipped with the package. I hope they stick. I wiped the frame off really good and then stuck them to the frame. Okay, if you can see this wire right here, that runs all the way down to where the steps are and then into the underbelly where that access panel is, about right there. And then it is, these are the Magic Mounts that Haloview ships, and they actually do hold pretty well. They lock that wire in, but I don't know if they'll stick well to the frame. And then I have these openings in between here. I zip tied there. Same thing for the front step. And then I'm going to mount that transmitter right here. I just drilled this hole in this access panel. This panel is not really an access panel. It just has the switch for the lights out front and then an outlet. There's a bunch of dead space behind it. So I pulled that panel off. Let's see if I can move it out. Yeah, and you can see there's a bundle that comes up through the floor. So I did the same thing here. I just came down from this bracket. I hope that'll be okay. Maybe I'll put this in some type of that automotive, you know, you put the wire in the, whatever. Maybe I'll put this inside something. But then it goes up under the underbelly and comes up right here. This is the connection. You just screw it to the transmitter. And then what I'll do is I'll mount this just like that. Put this wall back in. Clean up my mess. And that way I don't have that wire run all the way across the roof. And I was just worried that the magic mounts would come off. Really didn't want to screw into the roof. It's no big deal, but if I can get something inside the camper, that's what I choose to do first. Now, this project could have been done by now, but I chose the other path, and it makes me feel good knowing that that wire is inside, the transmitter's inside. The only place it is outside is there, but it's up on that kind of the lip of the... I've disconnected these two fasteners from the other ends, and I'm going to place the mirror up against, pull this over, and let it go. And it does have a groove there that it should clip up into. Same thing on the other side. Right up into that groove. And then you will have to adjust the mirror, like this needs to go to my right quite a bit. Take off the plastic for the camera. That's the front facing camera. And take off the plastic on the front of the monitor slash mirror. Let's plug in some power. USB on this end. Cigarette lighter on this end. And I will route this up and around so you don't see the cable. There's a power button right here underneath. And it comes right on. Here's your front camera on this side. And this is the back camera. If you want front camera on the whole camera, you just touch it. If you want the back one on the full, touch it. Swipe up or swipe down and you get your menu. Next will be a driving test to see, one, how the signal is on the highway, and two, how it works if Heather's laying down behind the camper. And I don't want to run her over. Okay, so this is the first driving test with the new Haloview RD10. These people next to me wonder why I'm filming myself. One thing I noticed here during the daytime, and I will have to do another drive at night, is that I can see my camper in the mirror as if it's a mirror. And it's kind of hard to distinguish which is the actual mirror I'm looking at and which is the video. This is our first trip with the Haloview RD10. It's doing pretty good. Coming through Canton, it gets crazy tight. Cars are everywhere, and you never know if you're clear to get over. And I can just peek up there and say, oh yeah, I'm clear, I can get over. The only bad thing was it's been raining, and the back camera was completely just one big water drop. And after about 20 minutes of driving here, it has cleared itself up. So I'm liking the Haloview RD10 camera. Pretty cool, because I didn't want another screen on my dash. That's why I like this.